Hi ho, welcome back to Cooking with Otis. What I'm gonna do today is actually walk you through what I actually do as far as when I prepare my brisket. I'm gonna take you step by step because somebody's told me and made a comment that I don't walk you completely through what we do here at Cooking with Otis. So today, what I'm gonna show you is how I cook my brisket. Okay, so what I have here is a half brisket. This is the flat. Sort of looks like that. The more fattier part with the other piece of meat that I had to cut off is the point. I'm just gonna do the flat to show you basically what I do. This is about a 5.5 pound flat. And the first step I do is I inject my brisket. Yes, it's cheating to some people, but I don't care. It makes my brisket come out moist, juicy, great taste, and great flavor. I use this. I picked this up on Amazon. It's Butcher BBQ Prime Brisket Injection. It's basically powder, or it's a broth and a beef broth in a powder, basically. You take 3 scoops of that with 2 cups of water, mix it together, get your injection, and go ahead and inject all around the brisket, both sides. Then once I'm done, I let it sit for a second, and then I put a base on. You really don't have to once the juices are flowing out, but I just do. Put a little garlic olive oil on both sides, and then I go ahead and season it up. So what I'm gonna do right now is inject it, base it, and then I'll come back and show you what I do for the seasoning. I'm not gonna do three full scoops because this is a half. 3 full scoops can season, or you can inject a 12-pound brisket. This is only half of that, so I'm only doing half. Now I'm gonna add water, mix it up, show you what I got. 2 cups of water, 1.5 cups of the brisket inject. Now I'm gonna go ahead and stir it up, and I'll show you the consistency of what you should be looking at. And that's what it's gonna look like. I should stir it a little bit better. You're gonna have a little sediment, but that's what the consistency looks like, basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and inject. Okay, here's the injector. You really don't have to go this high powered. You could get a basic one like in Tony C's seasoning, like when you inject your turkeys or chicken. Those come with those little plastic temporary ones, throwaways. You could use that. I just had this because I thought I was cool and I wanted to have one. So I'm gonna go ahead and inject this up, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so it's injected all over. I've gone through and created little injection ports all over this brisket. Now, you really don't need to, but I'm gonna put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, garlic olive oil on this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and season it up. And I will show you what it looks like when it's done being seasoned. Okay, so there it is, all seasoned up, ready to go. Again, what I did was cold rinsed it off, pat dried it. I injected it, and then I put my own touch on it. I put a little bit of extra virgin garlic olive oil all over it for a base. You really don't need it because the inject is running out all over, but I still do that. And then I have one more cheat for you that I use is Killer Hogs Texas Brisket Rub. Comes with everything mixed in that you need. But a true grill master would make their own rub and all that good stuff. I don't have the time. So I use that. The one main thing about when you do brisket, people put a lot of coarse black pepper on it to give it that crust. You have to be careful with the coarse black pepper because you can over pepper it and the pepper will take away from the great taste of your brisket. So you have to be very careful. You have to have the right mixture. I found Killer Hogs Texas Brisket Rub has the right amount of seasoning for me and what I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I wrap this in plastic overnight and let it sit to where everything absorbs and all the seasoning and everything gets absorbed into the meat. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the grill tomorrow. So that is how I season my brisket. If you have any questions, please comment below. Okay, so that's it. That's how I season it. To recap what I just did, I took my half brisket, which is the flat, courtesy of Buckeye Quality Meats. I went ahead and from there, as you notice, I left the fat cap on. I've noticed a lot of people in the Midwest like their fat cap left on alone, so don't touch it. California, where I came from, you got to trim that down. And in Texas, I have no idea what they do. But anyways, I left the fat cap on. I cold rinsed it off and got all the extra blood or anything that's on there off. Took off any silver skin or anything that looks bad. Trimmed it up a little bit. From there, I went ahead and injected it. I got the injection from Amazon, so you can see that. And then from there, I went ahead and rubbed a little bit of garlic olive oil all over it for a base. You don't have to. I just do that. I don't know, superstition. From there, I went ahead and seasoned it up with Killer Hogs Texas Brisket Seasoning. I got that on Amazon as well. You can see that there. And I wrapped it in plastic tightly overnight so it'll all sink in, get absorbed up. And from there, I'm gonna go ahead and cook it tomorrow. And basically that's it. That's how long it took to season it. Now, if you're a person that doesn't like a lot of fat on your brisket and all that good stuff, the rule of thumb is to trim it down to about a 1/4 inch thick fat. You could do it however you like. But starting out, be careful. If you never trimmed a brisket before, it's gonna look kind of jagged or whatever. That's okay. Brisket is a big, thick piece, tough of meat. It can take it. Just take your time, season it up, inject it, season it, wrap it up, let it sit overnight, and then I put it on the grill. I normally put it on the grill at 220, 225. If you really want to do it like slowly, you can do it at 200. I don't have time for that. So 225, 250, right around in there. 6 pounder is gonna take maybe 5.5 to 7 hours to cook. Once the brisket hits an internal temperature all over about 160 to 163, I take it off and I wrap it in butcher paper. You can wrap it in foil. And then from there, I put it back on and let it run until it gets to a temperature of roughly about 200, 201. I take it off, wrap it in towels, put it in a cooler. It's still gonna cook itself and let it rest. The longer it rests, the better it'll be. Cut it with a butter knife. Also, when you do the initial cook, when you're smoking it, cook it fat side down on the grill. Fat side, fat cap down. Don't forget that. Very important. And that's basically it. What do I have this Reynolds Wrap Heavy Duty foil for? What's a brisket without baby back ribs? So I'm gonna do some ribs as well. So that's it. That's how I will go ahead and season my brisket. If you got any questions, go ahead and comment below. It's a very short video. just giving you a little bit of insight of what I do. Until next time.
Yeah.